know that it's a secret and that I gotta keep it, but I want the lights on, yeah, I want the lights on, and I don't wanna run.
Kia ora guys, Gaviscon Gaming here, bringing you a small artifact weapon guide on where you should be moving to and how to most effectively use the artifact points that you're getting. First off here, we have our very first spell that we end up getting the moment we get our weapon, which is Kingsbane. Now this here is a spell, 45-second cooldown, uses 35 energy, and it injects into your target, dealing 72,000 damage instantly, and an additional 84,000 damage over 14 seconds. The damage is increased by 15% each time that you apply a lethal poison to a target affected by Kingsbane. Now, only one target can be affected by Kingsbane. However, this works really well in conjunction with your Envenom, because your Envenom increases the chance of your poison application by 30%. And if you are infecting the target with poison really often, your Kingsbane is going to get a massive damage increase every time you manage to hit somebody with your deadly poison. Our second spell, which you've got to take if you want to carry on with Assassination, is the Assassin's Blades. This is a straight flat out damage increase of Mutilate by 15%. From here we have two pathways. You can go either my way or the highway. Nah, joking. Or you can go through the poison knives. Now, I've gone left. I have heard of a lot of other people going down and out to the right, because this big trait here, the From the Shadows, deals a lot of damage, but I couldn't find it in myself to argue getting such a big damage bonus here after getting such shit traits here. Personally, the poison knives for myself isn't going to help me out at all with PvP. It's just not a big enough damage increase at all. It would be good for PvE, so if you maybe wanted to do leveling through dungeons, I could see that. But I couldn't really see it even working very well in Battlegrounds. As an Assassination Rogue, you're going to get absolutely butt-fucked straight away the moment you come out if people start to target you. You've got no survivability, so having these poison knives aren't going to help you at all. Next up through here, if you were to carry on, you've got the finishing moves increase your poison damage that you deal to the target by 10% for 5 seconds. That there is really quite good. However, then next you've got another 3 ranks of shit passives that you've got to get through, which is just a 9% critical strike chance of rupture. And I don't really like the idea of increasing a critical strike chance of something for so much artifact power. So I've opted not to go through here just because of the AoE and the rupture increase, or the rupture critical strike chance increase, should I say. But the From the Shadows will be good if you do end up going through here anyway. I can see some pretty good bursts if you do end up doing something like this. And a lot of people have said that this is really good, so you can try that if you want. However, I've come around to the side here and I've gone this way. I've got one artifact trait at the moment, which is helping my Envenom deal extra damage. And so I'm dealing, because I've got 4 ranks, 13% increased damage for Envenom, which is pretty good damage increase in my opinion. If you end up going down, you're just increasing the critical strike chance of Mutilate, and as I've been saying before, I don't really like the idea of having critical strike chance increase, so I completely ignored that, as everyone should, I believe. This one here isn't a big one. It is 1 rank. Activating Vendetta refills all of your energy. It's a must for Assassination Rogue. I really can't get that point across enough. Having energy as an Assassination Rogue is a must. You need it more than anything. Now from here you could move straight down here and get to your Blood of the Assassinated to have massive rupture damage. And having this also increase the flat rupture damage is going to be really great for you. Especially if you're going the deeper stratagem. You're going to be hitting so hard, especially if you get the Blood of Assassinated. I went straight up to the Bag of Tricks first, however, because I like the idea of having a reduced sprint just to get around faster for PvE, as well as to have the sprint come off cooldown a lot faster during PvP battles, which will also come in handy when using the honor talents for the maneuver ability. Sprint suppresses all movement impairing effects for 4 seconds when used. It's really good. So after going to the Shadow Walker and getting all 3, I went straight up to the Bag of Tricks. I found this is great for leveling as well as dungeons, because no NPCs are going to be moving about all the time, so they stay in it for the full duration. Really good, especially when you're bursting everything down. I can't see this working very well in a PvP scenario. Perhaps if you manage to get a really good cheap shot or kidney shot on someone, and then you want to throw a very quick 2-point envenom on someone just to get that chance for the poison to fall on top of them, because it will still deal the same amount of damage anyway, then yeah, sure that would be good, but I can't see this working too well for PvP at the moment. Down here you've got the increased damage from wound poison or deadly poison. I do like it, but I wanted to have the reduced Vendetta cooldown. I've also got, as you can see, one Shadow Artifact Relic to help reduce the Vendetta by even more. So here you can see my Vendetta. It's got a 1.3 minute cooldown, which is approximately a minute 20, probably about a minute 24-ish. I'm no good at maths. From here I've gone down to the Gushing Wound, and this will increase the flat damage of Rupture, down to the Blood of Assassinated, and although I really want to get to here, I want to work on my survivability, as that's the one thing that I found Assassination Rogues are lacking compared to the other two specs. The other two specs have got a much wider range of being able to either get away or being able to heal up a lot more. So I really want to go for this Cloak of Shadows, reduce the cooldown of Cloak of Shadows by 9 seconds, and also probably the Shadow Step as well. So I will be ignoring the Master Alchemist for now. It is good, but I will be ignoring it for now just due to the artifact power costs, and I'm definitely ignoring this one. This one here will be probably the very last one I'll upgrade. So once I've got these two, as well as this one up, I'll then move through here, get the Poison Knives up to 3 ranks. I'll get the Surge of Toxins up, then the Serrated Edge, and then the From the Shadows. By then I should have a very, very good burst rotation going through. I hope if you're watching this video, if you're a new rogue, that this has helped you decide on where you want to move your artifact power to. And if there are any older Assassination Rogue players here, feel free to put your input in. I think a lot of this does come down to your own playstyle more or less, and what you want to have first. If you want to have a bigger meteor burst by the time you get to 110, or if you want to have just like a little bit more versatility and survivability. From here we'll move over to where the followers are. And if you move over to the map here, we've got a few quests available at the moment. Down the bottom here, you can actually assign a combat ally. If you guys have got Lord Jorak Ravenholt, I advise you take the Lord Jorak. He's got the Seal of Ravenholt. This is an instant 3-minute cooldown. It summons him to dispatch your foe, instantly damaging your target to 10% of their maximum health. It's reduced damage against bosses. So against essentially everything. It doesn't work for PvP, I've noticed. I think it's around about, it takes them to about 60% of their maximum health. It's still big, it's still really, really big, but it doesn't work as well. So don't expect to do massive PvP damage with him, but for PvP I found this is really, really great for taking on rears and instantly killing them, essentially. So I'd put them in a stun, I'll put a Garrett on, I'd throw Lord Jorak out, he would take them down to about 200,000, and then I'd put out 5-point Envenom, and they would be dead. And so that would go from 3 million health down to 200,000 health, and then they would die before they'd come out of the stun. So it was really, really good to be able to use Lord Jorak while leveling, and now that I'm 110, going out in Surima and taking on rares as well as taking on elites, he really helps me to take on big dudes that I normally wouldn't be able to take on by myself. So I've really, really enjoyed using Lord Jorak. Some of the other followers that you do have, if you didn't want to have Lord Jorak, is Garona. She isn't really the best in my opinion, and that is only because her death from the shadows is a chance that she'll come through, and I think the percentage stacks the longer that she isn't there for within a time frame. There have been some times when I haven't had her around for a while, and I will all of a sudden get her, but she can proc on really weird things. So if you're maybe insta-killing things with a bow during a world event, or if you're insta-killing just other mobs around with like specific items that puts you into combat, she can spawn, and it's just a waste of her ability because it doesn't do anything for her, and it doesn't do anything for you. Another thing, Assassination Rogues while leveling, if you haven't taken the Fan of Knives, it can be quite hard to deal AoE damage while also surviving. So you normally want to go single target, and her Death from the Shadows is an AoE poison vial. It just spreads on the feet. So if you're trying to take on one person and she comes out and ends up pulling more, it can be a bit troublesome for you. So I don't recommend taking her, but I did enjoy using her, especially once I had my own poison vial, because it was like a double vial, and it was really, really amusing watching NPCs get dotted down to death. You can have just the normal basic combat ally, which is Vanessa Van Cleef. She can just follow you around anywhere, just like the normal bodyguards from Wall of Draenor, and she'll just gain XP off anything that you kill, which is also really, really cool. Some of the big things about rogues are things like having somebody follow you on a quest and that NPC doesn't have invis, and so he will pull things all the time when you're trying to move around and try to get places, which means that you've got to battle, which makes for a lot longer leveling. However, if you've got Vanessa Van Cleef, she's going to be invis, so you don't have to worry about her interfering with your leveling experience. Another follower that you do have when you do end up getting him is the Master Matthias Shaw. He has the SI7 Intel ability, which is a 1 minute cooldown, and you summon Matthias Shaw to provide intelligence on your enemies. This here doesn't really give you much indication as to what he actually does. However, the hidden tooltip, I guess, that gives you the benefit is that attacks made while stealth and for 3 seconds after breaking stealth are guaranteed critical strikes. So if you're somebody who likes to burst like absolute crazy at the start, perhaps you're a sub rogue, this would be really, really good for you, because you could just shadow strike and get really massive crits and probably one shot something, or get big rares down really, really fast. I could also imagine this doing really well for world PvP from also a combat perspective, because you could put this in a burst rotation with your killing spree, for example, and you could get that 1 minute cooldown SI7, you get that full massive crit bonus for guaranteed crits, and then you can just do like a big killing spree and absolutely one shot somebody. All the rest of these followers here that I've gone over, they haven't got any combat abilities, so you can't take them out. But I do hope that you've enjoyed the little overview of the followers as well as the artifact power, and I'll see you in the next video. Kia ora guys, Gaviscon Gaming here, bringing you the artifact weapon. As an assassination rogue, you're gonna get you're gonna get absolutely butt raped. As an assassin, next up through here, if you were to carry on, you've got the finishing moves increase your poison damage that you deal to the target by 10% for 5 seconds. That there is really, really good. That there is really quite good. However, then next you've got another 3 ranks of shit spells. 3 ranks of shit passives. But the From the Shadows will be good if you do end up going through here anyway. I can see some pretty good bursts coming out from... I can see some pretty good bursts if you do end up doing something like this. I really, really can't get that point across enough. And the Bag of Tricks and Venom just deals... It just helps dealing a lot more damage. So I came up here to the Bag of Tricks, and it helped out, and it's helped out a lot with the PvE leveling. I do like it, but I wanted to have the extra Venom, but I wanted to have the reduced Vendetta cooldown. And if there are a bigger meteor burst straight off the... If you want to have a bigger meteor burst by the time you get to 110. But for PvP, I found this is really, really great for taking on rears and instantly killing them, and then they'll die before they come out of the stun. It was like a double vial, and it was really quite amusing watching people get absolutely... And it was really, really amusing watching NPCs get... Another really good thing about Vanessa Van Cleef is... Another really good thing about Vanessa Van Cleef, and you summon Matthias Shaw to provide... intelligence on your enemies. But I do hope that you've enjoyed the little overview of followers.
Asshole mio, oh sada mia, holy testicle Tuesday.